Unveiling the depths of Joseph's story, the coat of many colors. Welcome, dear friends, to another episode on Sam Lively social channel. Today, through the pages of Genesis, try to unravel the layers of Joseph's story and the symbolic coat of many colors. Jacob, the father of Joseph, dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. Jacob had 12 sons through 4 women, his wives Leah and Rachel, and his concubines Bilhah and Zilpah, who were in order of their birth Reuben, Simon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin, all of whom became the heads of their own family groups, later known as the 12 tribes of Israel. This is the history of Jacob. As we delve into Genesis 37:50, prepare to witness a tale of favoritism, betrayal, resilience, and forgiveness. A narrative that transcends time and resonates with the human experience. Before we begin, let's ponder why Joseph's story is so enduring. It's not just a historical account, but a saga echoing themes of God's providence, family dynamics, and the transformative power of forgiveness. Joseph, the son of Jacob and Rachel, found himself at the heart of a complex family dynamic. Do read Genesis 37:3-4 to capture the essence of Jacob's favoritism towards Joseph. Joseph was the son of his old age, but when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Joseph had a dream, and he told to his brothers, and they hated as always. Joseph told his brothers, "Please hear this dream which I had dreamed. There we were, binding sheaves in the field. Then my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And indeed your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheaf." And his brothers said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed still another dream and told to his brothers and said, "Look, I have dreamed another dream. And this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me." Joseph told his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come to bow down to earth before you?" And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in mind. In short, then one day, when the brothers were tending their sheep, they saw Joseph walking towards them wearing his colored coat, which is presented by his father Jacob. In anger, the cruel brothers ripped Joseph's coat from him and threw him into an old dry well. But they were undecided what to do with their prisoner. "We must not kill him," said one of the brothers, Reuben. Reuben planned to save Joseph and send him back to his father. Later, one of the brothers, Judah, came up with a different plan. He proposed that they get rid of him by selling him to a group of passing merchants instead. This is what they decided to do, and poor Joseph was taken to Egypt as a slave. So Joseph was dragged from the well and taken to Egypt. To explain his disappearance, the brothers smeared Joseph's coat with goat's blood and took it back to their father. The brothers told Jacob that Joseph killed by a wild animal. Jacob believed them. He was devastated to have lost his favorite child. Little did Jacob know his sons have actually sold him as a slave. Fortunately, for Joseph. His new master was a fair man. Soon he came to trust hard-working Joseph to run his household. Time passed, and Joseph was tricked by a wicked woman and sent to prison. But God continued to help Joseph explain people's dream. Word of this gift from God spread to Pharaoh. Troubled by dreams of his own, the Pharaoh sent for Joseph. So Pharaoh told Joseph his dream. In my dream, he said, I was standing on the bank of the Nile River, and I saw 7 fat, healthy cows come up out of the river and begin grazing in the marsh grass. But then I saw 7 sick-looking cows, scrawny and thin, come up after them. Joseph thought the dream had been sent by God and told the Pharaoh, 7 years of plenty are coming, but that will be followed by 7 years of famine. God wants you to prepare Egypt for what lies ahead. Joseph continued, you should store food in the 7 good years. This food will feed your peoples during the 7 years of famine. The Pharaoh was so grateful for Joseph's advice, he made him the governor of Egypt. It was Joseph's job to travel throughout the land, helping people to get ready for the famine. Once more, Joseph served his master well. He was the second most important man in Egypt and became rich during those 7 years of hard work. And after those 7 good years, just as the dream had predicted, the famine began. Thanks to Joseph's planning and storing, no one in Egypt went hungry. But in Canaan, after 2 years, there was nothing left to eat, and no crops would grow in the parched soil. Joseph's brothers had no choice to travel to Egypt to buy grain to make bread for their starving family. Joseph saw his brothers bow before him as he was the person in charge of selling grain to anyone who came to Egypt in need of food. Not one of them recognized the brother they sold into slavery. Joseph said nothing, but sold them the grain they had come to him for. He knew that the famine would continue and that they would return again. When Jacob sent his sons to Egypt the next time, Joseph stood before them and said, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? All his brothers got amazed to see Joseph was still alive. They wept and said sorry for what they had done to him. With a glad heart, Joseph forgave them. What happened to me was all part of God's plan to save many lives, Joseph explained. There are 5 more years of famine to come, but I had stored enough food for everyone. Do not blame yourself for what you did. The Pharaoh was very grateful to Joseph for keeping his people safe from hunger. He told him his family could come and live in Egypt too. Joseph proudly sent his brothers home to Canaan to bring back their father and their families. As we conclude this journey through the profound story of Joseph and the coat of many colors, we come before you with hearts filled with gratitude for the timeless wisdom woven into the fabric of this narrative. Joseph's unwavering faith, resilience, and the capacity for forgiveness in our own lives grant us the strength to navigate challenges with God's divine purpose. May we, like Joseph, find the grace to forgive those who have wronged us, understanding God's mercy is boundless. God's divine providence at work, orchestrating events in the midst of adversity. Just as God guided Joseph through the pit, slavery, and imprisonment, we should and shall trust in His plan for our lives, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for your redemptive power to unfold. Dear friends, like, share, and subscribe to help spread the message of hope and inspiration. From San Ivy Social Channel, San, thank you.